Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is MadLatter and today we're going to continue the Pillars of Eternity Let's Play series. So I've skipped about 2 loading screens that were not needed to be shown, and we'll be going to the first fires, and this time around we're going to join the Animancy hearing. So yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting point. We'll have to see how things turn out there. And it will indeed be very interesting, because this is where the story gets into full gear, it feels like. So yeah, let's see. We go to the hearing. I think the easiest way is just through this gate here, yeah. Side passage. And yeah, let's see what happens in there then. I've heard a lot about Ava Wolf-Grin, and he seems like an interesting and pretty good leader, perhaps even. But let's wait what really is up with him. So yeah. There we have him, the Justicar. Oh, okay, upper floor. Ah, in here. Received word from the Commander Cliver that you would be attending Janniknik. The balcony has been opened for you. Okay. Let's get ready, this is gonna be interesting. Duke Ava Wolf-Grin. The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All of the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowds. Crucible knights, stiff in their noisy armor, sit in one section. In another are well-dressed members of House Dominel, casual, watching with a predator's interest. Still elsewhere are the ramshackle dozens, who have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. Interspersed are animancers in their academic robes, with expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, what progress can you demonstrate?
The description of him: at the back of the chamber sits the Duke, sprawled in his throne, worn down but alert and feisty nonetheless.
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more! Animancy goes, or this country goes!
So you admit, Master Barask, that Animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was.
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
His work was sabotaged.
Ah, our new delegate from the Knights of the Crucible. What makes you say sabotage?
So, all at once the attendees turn their face towards you, a mishmash of judgment and incredulity. Only the Duke, a wild-looking man with a scraggly beard, seems unfazed by your interruptions. I met a false patient in Brackenbury's sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children!
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
Lore 5, this is not the Bale Reach incident. This is a responsible scientist who was manipulated. Aleph whispers between gritted teeth. How can you call him responsible? You saw the state of the sanitarium.
Horseshit! These Animancers can't be trusted! Look at what happened in Heritage Hill! Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves!
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justicia! You turn a blind eye, and look what happens!
Yeah, the Crucible Knights are blameless here. This was not the workings of Animancy, but an ancient device in Terra Noeneth.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
Yeah, honest. My word is my oath. I challenge anyone here to find someone who knows different.
I had heard whispers of a new delegate set to attend today's hearing. I admit that your candor was mentioned more than once.
Good. Our reputation precedes us.
Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Neth houses an Engwithan machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. It was this machine that made the district undead.
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of Animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
Okay, let's see, what can we say? Yeah, they followed ambition blindly, taking few precautions and allowing personal feelings to get in the way of solving the problem.
But the very purpose of these experiments is to understand. So these dangerous things can be used responsibly.
This is what it comes down to, Your Grace. Whatever their intentions, Animancy's a pox. It makes a fucking wreck of everything. We all know what Widewind's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge.
Ha! Wrong bridge indeed.
It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's where we lay them. My son, my wife let him slip when she was bathing him. Got water in his lungs, he couldn't cough up. My daughter, we put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing. This Hollowborn thing, it ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker!
Yeah, I'm immediately sorry for that guy, but his rage is misdirected.
Enough, Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's Animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate? Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy has taken hold here?
Hi. The grieving mother reaches toward your mind with hers. Bring order to the chaos here. I can. The crowd begins to mutter, the sound taking a doubtful character. Right idea, Watcher, taking this hearing by the curly ones. Don't waste your chance. Widewind's legacy is a creation of the Leaden Key. Kate Manasso's downfall was their work, as was the tower in Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want Animancy to fall. The dull muttering expands into a din of skepticism that fills the hall. I have seen them in the ruins of Ergland Fath, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls, near towns like Gilded Vale and Deerford, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I have heard the dead confess their plot. They are stealing the souls of the unborn.
Beasts. Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
Okay, so what do we have? Benevolent. I only want to hold the Deerwood. You want to see crazy? Make one more smart comment just like that. Being passionate. Birth invalids until your womb dries for all I care. No, that's cruel. Diplomatic, clever, rational. Yeah, we go benevolent. Please, I want only to help Deerwood.
You must know, friend, that the Leaden Key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
That's a whole bunch of options. So what's more likely? That the gods are destroying the Deerwood for a science practice in many parts of the world, or that a group of people hates Animancy and wants it suppressed? We have deceptive, which we don't care about. Clever is also not our way. Honest 3. If you know anything about me, you know this. I have been called many things, but never a liar. An honest witness is my best piece of evidence you have in this matter. I think that's the one we go for.
The only piece of evidence.
The only piece of evidence that doesn't send your kind to the gallows, you mean?
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn all this?
Okay, do we involve the Knights of the Crucible? We don't. I took a personal interest in the matter and tried to learn what I could.
Indeed. This land is foreign to you, unless I miss my guess. Your efforts on its behalf are to be commended. But these hearings are about more than Widewind's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenberry Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
Okay, so we can basically give them a clean slate, tell them to go whatever they want. We can tell them to, yeah, it should be studied. If you don't, someone else will, and they will wield great power over you. Given too long a leash, restricted and controlled, that's one I really like. Not completely confident Animancy doesn't have something to do with the legacy, and too dangerous. So I'm considering here this should be a neutral approach. Essentially, personally right now, I consider Animancy to be a great potential, but they may have been given a bit too much leeway from time to time. There needs to be controls, there needs to be a bit of a leash indeed. Restriction and, most of all, control is essential. And just who would regulate it? Charlatans like ISO, or fools like Ethelmore, clueless as to what goes on within their own walls?
Very well. That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest. I want to thank the delegations for helping me to collect my thoughts. In particular, I want to thank our new delegate, who has given me much to think about, and who alerted me to a new enemy I had failed to see.
Extraordinary positive. Yay!
The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement.
Oh, I'm excited.
Ramir de Barash, representing the interests of Animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
What's that?
The arguments for and against Animancy are both strong in their own way. I must be careful in my judgment.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing? No! Avenge the Duke!
No, no, wait!
Yeah.
At once!
Fuck!
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you? Another time. I am already late.
Okay. The words, "Shall I end it for you?" ring in your ears. You find yourself gasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as Theos hurries out of the building. The world dims around you, the screams and clashing of weapons fading to silence. All that remains are the words.
Shall I end it for you?
Theos stands at a pulpit high above an assembly of robed onlookers, you among them, clustered around a wide circular pit carved of stone. He addresses a woman bound backward over a large iron wheel overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on one side of her face looks like melted candle wax, black and red and seeping, and the angle of her back suggests that her spine is in ruins. Yet for all that, her expression betrays little of her anguish.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
Her eyes are barely open and her words come between strangled breaths, but they are steady, unbroken.
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
He nods to a hooded attendant, who begins untying her from the wheel. Holy shit, what was that about? You open your eyes to the beamed ceilings of the palace's grand entrance hall. The clangs of metal striking metal wafted in from outside among the cries of the injured, and as you stagger to your feet, Theos is gone. Zagani is patting your cheeks with a firm but gentle head. Get up, trouble's already found us. Off to one side you can hear the clinking rustle of chainmail, and you look over to see a wounded guard slumped against a wall. He is trying to say something, seemingly directed at you, but at first it is too faint to hear. He gathers his breath and manages to rasp out a few words. Lady Webb, she's the only. She must be told. She'll know what to do, please. Find her. Tell her everything. The guard passes out and slides to the floor. Still. Holy balls. We can't get in there? Yeah. Okay. What the fuck, Theos? So, Ava is probably dead, and now there's a literal civil war between the Knights of the Crucible and the Dozens, and probably House Dominel. Can I help here? I cannot. Holy balls, yeah. Defiance Bay is on fire, quite literally. A dozen smarter. Yeah, there's nothing we can do here. Fuck. Let's quickly move to Dundredrow. Holy balls, that just took a turn for the worse. I expected something bad to happen, but this is a bit way outside of what I expected. We'll take that stuff real quick. Yeah, and the sanitarium burns. As expected, and House Dominal is at least in part murdered. Let's see Dundredrow. Let's see if there's fighting in here as well. I hope to God not. Oh man. So many dead. Oh shit, there is, or has been, fighting. Wow, they're dead everywhere. Are you shitting me? Let's check if someone's in these rooms, perhaps. Just so we don't leave anyone here who might run into our back and murder us. And also, while we're at it, take a bit of money. I'm being honest here. Okay, seems like no one's in here. Then let's hurry up to Lady Webb. Maybe she met Theos. Maybe he came here looking for her. That could very well be. Yeah, I guess she's dead. She is. Lady Webb lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright. The blood pool beneath the gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. A shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling head. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your ken. You make contact and are immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room, lying in bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Through the walls from the streets outside comes the sound of screams and shattering glass, and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip, and it warms your gullet. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient, steady push. Into the room walks Theos, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of your brandy has trickled down your throat before you speak.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
You're concentrating, focusing with all of your energy. It feels as though you are diving deep into a stone wall over and over, but it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vague wisp of a thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
Ah.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye levels. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
He replaces the brandy bottle on the table with care before approaching the bedside. He sits on the edge of the bed next to you. You know this is how it has to be. His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He draws a long curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
Theos slips the knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass on the floor, and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife hand in both of yours, a question radiating in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes, simple, cataclysmic in its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for all your life, but in your own mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Theos with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time, and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends over you.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenberry Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the leaden key itself.
Holy shit. All of that took a serious turn for something unexpected. Okay, so yeah, on that note, I'll gonna end this episode. I do thank you all for watching and I hope you've had some fun. I found this episode to be quite exciting. A lot of stuff happened I wasn't expecting, for sure. And once more, we're coming closer to the truth behind it all. So yeah, if you liked it, consider commenting, liking, subscribing, I'd be happy. You can also follow me on Twitter @_madletter for all news updates. And with that said, once again, thank you for watching, see you the next time.